Hello Flosstube, it's Lori of MischievousStitches. To those that are new, to those that are returning, welcome to my channel. I'm glad you're here. It's another weekend, another video, and I have some things to share. You know, I had taken a few months off from Flosstube and stitching, and you guys have welcomed me back with open arms. It's been so great to interact with everyone. I've gotten lots of comments. And I've really enjoyed interacting with everyone, and it's given me the boost I needed to get back to stitching. So I do have a little bit to show. As mentioned in the last video, I was going to pull out some ornaments. I said I had maybe 10 or so ornaments that just need to be fully finished, that's been stitched but not completed into an ornament, and I wanted to share those, but there are more than 10. But what I've been currently working on this week is Womack, 1838 by Shakespeare's Peddler. I've shown her the past two videos. I really wanted to work towards a finish. She's the red sampler I started last year. And I'm getting close, So last week, I was working on the last band of alphabets that were done over 1. And I've completed that, and I completed a lot more than I anticipated. Gotten further along. This is where I'm at. So you can see I'm working towards closing up that border on that right hand side. So that bottom line of alphabet that is over 1 is completed. And I dropped down into the verse and I worked on that. That is also over 1. So you can see where I kind of left off. What I did do is I finished page 3, which is that bottom left-hand corner, and I did the verse that was on that page. So I got halfway, a little over halfway, because I will not leave a word broken, even though the pattern does. So Thursday, I started working over into the right hand, the 4th page. And so I've gotten a few of those motifs completed. I brought the border over and down. So this week I've got to focus on finishing up that verse. Once again, it's over 1. And then Anne's age. There's a few motifs that are very similar to the ones in the bottom left, and close that border up and I'll be done. Oh. So there's no reason why I can't get this complete. I'm looking forward to it. This will be a whip finish for this year. And it was started last year, and I'm looking forward to finishing that. Very excited. So just one more time. So I did stitch this. This is 40 counts vintage country mocha. And I'm using 1 strand of thread over 2 linen threads, or 1 linen thread, which is based on what the pattern calls for, and it's with DMC 3777. So hopefully next week you'll come back and I'll have a finish on that one. And what I plan on picking up is something tiny, something that I can knock out really quickly, so it'll be a finish and a start. I hope to do that in a couple of days. I ordered this, excuse me, about on Etsy from Sampler Bird. And this is Sampler Bird stitching. This is the tomato scissors fob. And I'm gonna stitch that up. So it's just a tiny little piece. As you can see, it has a tomato pin cushion on a spool. In the back side, she gives you instructions where you can put either a tomato pin cushion, a miniature one along with your initials over 1, or the year, but she gives you instructions and a pattern for you to do it the way, either as she has it or as you would like to have it. And of course it's a kit, so I have the fabric, the linen, the emery, basically everything I need to make this scissors fob. So I should be able to do that right. I should be able to finish Womack and stitch this up, and if not fully finish it into the fob, at least get the stitching done this week. That's what I'm thinking. And after that, I'm gonna work on starting a ornament, something I can finish up in just a little bit of time. Now this is, if you've been watching me for a while and you're not new, last year I started and finished up a heartstring scented. I really love them. And so I went on the hunt on eBay, the Bay of Evil, And several of you reached out, and I got a few more of these. Now this is the Santa Factor by Heartstrings. And this is, was it October? You know what, excuse me, I can't read it without these glasses. Yes, it is October. I loved him, so I went ahead and purchased the DMC threads last year. And I have a piece of, small piece of fabric, and I'm not sure what it is, but it should be more than big enough to stitch him on. Now this seems to be more of a creamier fabric, and I'm sure we know how pictures are when you're taking pictures of needlework. It's not always accurate, and it looks like a peachy tone to the fabric, but I wanted something a little darker because I really want the moon to pop. So once again, using this, and here is colors. So there you go. So that'll probably start next, at some point after finishing that scissor swab, I'll start this one. So I'm looking forward to that. So last weekend, I did get a chance to spend some time with my closest girlfriends. We had gotten out of the habit of doing this during COVID, but what we would do is once a month, one of the four of us would host the other three at their home. We'd do a craft, or we would do some type of new to us cooking. We've done bread days. We've done days where we canned fruit. We've done card game. We love to play cards and games together, so we've done gaming days. We've done stitch days, movie days, just you name it, we've done it. And now all of us have daughters, and our daughters are getting older, so we're able to bring them in on it sometimes too, and they enjoy it, and so do we. But this last weekend, my friend Karen hosted us in her home, but my friend Kendra was visiting, who has during COVID has moved out of the state. So she's a few hours away from us, and she actually chose the craft. So I'm going to show you what we did, and I thought it was perfect for this year, but we made these wreaths. So it's a carrot. Can you see? I think you can see it pretty well. It's a carrot, and so we used this 3-inch wired ribbon in orange to make the carrot, and then I don't know what you call it. I think this is mesh ribbon. But anyway, we cut those and made those, pinched them and made little curly cues. And we had some greenery and a bow and a little carrot there, and this hangs on my front door, actually inside. The past couple of wreaths that I've placed on my front door, we've had to take down because the birds try to build nests in them this time of year, and they'll dive bomb you as you open the front door. So we've stopped putting it on the outside. So this is actually on the inside. I just flipped the wreath hanger I had there to the inside of the door. So there's that. I hope you enjoy it. I know I do. I think it's the cutest little thing. So on YouTube, you can go and do dollar store crafts, which is now $1.25 store crafts. But she went on to one of those and found this. Now, some of the things that I've done or we've done together have been the dollar store crafts, because whoever's hosting buys everything. We kind of keep it minimal because it's really all about being together anyway. But I think Kendra did really great picking this craft out. I love it. But Karen, the one that's actually hosting it in her home, she did have an idea for us to do a button craft. So making a design on canvas and using some old buttons she's picked it up at thrift stores and junk shops over the past couple of years. And this is what I did. And it's very basic, and I'm not a painter, but I think it's kind of cute. So I just made a tree, and I took some of the clear and buttons that she found. Can you see? There you go, that's better. They kind of shine at that angle. But I did this, and I was looking for more of a spring theme, and I tried to put pink buttons on it, and I didn't like it. So we went with white, so it's a winter scene. But there's that. So those are the kind of things we do, and I will be hosting this coming month, and I haven't chosen a date yet, but I have chose the craft, and we're gonna make some glass garden ornaments. So there'll be flowers that you make out of vintage, or not necessarily vintage, but just bowls and cups and saucers that you've thrifted or gotten in a junk shop, and you're going to stack them and glue them and drill holes in them and put them on stakes, and they're going to be in your yard just for beauty in your garden. So I'll show you those when we get them made. So also my friend Karen, once again, we junk. So we junk for crafts, and we junk just because we enjoy it. And she knows that I love the tomato pincushions, and I have quite a little collection of them, and she brought me another one. But she also brought me a strawberry, and it still had the original tag on there from, and it just says Emery, which I thought was really neat. So I had a strawberry and then this tomato, and they make me happy. Someone at one point asked me what these made, and they were from, the lady was not from here in America. And it's my understanding that they used to be placed on people's mantles, and they were for prosperity. They were symbols for prosperity as well as to ward off evil spirits. Here are my Christmas ornaments. Excuse me, someone's waiting outside. My husband's wanting to come in, and he knows I'm filming. So I told you last weekend that I would share with you the ornaments that I have completed the stitching for but have not made into actual fully finished items. Here they are. You like to see them? I hope so, because I'm going to show them to you. So one of them is not an ornament, but it's the perfect time of year for it. I need to get this finished up. So this is, I know, a shepherd's bush, and it was a kit that I have, and of course it's a Easter egg. And I need to get this finished up. I do have oval templates that I could easily cut something out to fit the shape and get that finished up. This one I stitched last year. This is Prairie Schooler North Wind. I think this was the 2020 Prairie Schooler. I finished this one last year. And this weekend I went ahead and ordered the one for this year. 123 Stitch actually has it listed. So I'm going to get that one and work that one up. So there's that one. This is another that I did last year. I think this is Holly Jolly, and this is by, I want to say it's Heart and Hand. This is one of the pieces that you can put on the heartware bowls that they have, but I'm going to make it into a circular ornament. And this is the heartstring Santa that I was telling you about that I finished last year. I think I shared him last week as well. And then this is another, is it Bent Creek? It's either Bent Creek or Heart and Hand. And this is the Holly sampler. And it has the buttons in the red here. And another one for last year, this is Prairie Schooler Christmas Tree Farm. It's one of the little cards, not an actual leaflet. And then we get into ones that I may or may not have shown sometime in the past. But I was putting those away, and I was the ones that I just showed, and I was looking for the ones that I was talking about in my last video. And I found some of them. I had already cut fabric, some mat board, some finished the mat board, and I want to share them with you because shameful. This is one I think was out of one of the Just Cross Stitch Christmas magazines from many years ago. I stitched two of them. We did a gift exchange or an ornament exchange here on Flosstube several years ago, and I stitched two. One I finished and gave to Jessie Marie Does Stuff, and this one is mine, and it is beaded, and it has metallic threads in there. And I've already finished the tag to put it on and cut the mat board to place the ornament on. And I just haven't done it. So, I mean, it's right there. The finish is right there. This is another one. I don't remember the designer, but of course it says Joy. It's a mirror of the word joy. It has one little treasure button there and some metallic thread. And I didn't put a year on it. I don't know when I've finished this, but it's been several years ago. And I had cut the fabric out for this one. It has the golden metallic in there, perfect green to fit it. And this is kind of big for an ornament, but I'm going to make it as an ornament anyway. And this is Just Another Button Company. I think I got this when our local shop was still open. See how wrinkled it is? I don't know how I'll have to be careful ironing this again because of the buttons. But I had already cut out this to make it look like the manger scene that it is. I was still trying to imagine how I was going to finish it up to make it look more like a manger other than the shape. And I never got around to that finish. And then this one is a, I can't think of the designer. She does a lot of Santas this kind of time of year, but this is, let me see, it's got wording on it. This house believes in Santa. And it was a kit that someone gifted me. I finished that one up. This is a Little House Needleworks baked goods. I have several of those ornaments I need to stitch up. I think this is so beautiful, so cute with the colors. And this is a punch needle. It's the only punch needle I've done. I did like it. I need to do more. And I bought this as a kit at Hobby Lobby some time ago. And it was so easy. It's great when you have excess threads from other projects. But let me show you. Can you see how it's raised if you're not familiar with punch needle? And then these are all lavender and lace angels. When my children were small, I did a lot of these, and there are still more that I would like to do. They're freebies. They're listed on Told in a Garden Lavender and Lace's website still, and I don't know which ones are what years, but you can go to it, and I'll link it below so you can see them. But most of them are beaded, that most of them have metallic. But if you're familiar with Lavender and Lace and you love her, these are beautiful little stitches that she put out for her patrons. That's one. This is one of my favorite ones just because I love the colors. Little red beads. And this has whisper thread in it as well, but that metallic. Here's another. Beautiful Christmas colors. And so these had to have been 15 years ago, maybe 20 years ago, and I still haven't finished them in the ornaments. This is going to be the year of my Christmas ornaments. So I shared with you last year that I'm going to continue this year to work on my whips, but in between finishing up whips or any new starts I have, I'm going to stitch an ornament. And maybe finish an ornament along with the each time too. That'll be my goal to see if I can do that. And here's another. This one's beautiful too. That red with those beads. And one more. And look at her little green slippers. So I hope you've enjoyed the video this weekend. I'm glad you're here with me today. I plan to finish up Womack. And as I said, work on finishing my little stitching and finishing up my little tomato scissors fob. And that way I'll have something to share with you next weekend. But I want to thank you again for being here. And until next time, have a good week. Bye-bye.